I think foremost, and it's hard to say this, it was ego. It was me not thinking that I'm the greatest or anything like that, but thinking that I alone could solve this problem, that I could think my way out of it. And I really tried to do that for years. It was me convincing myself that this was my problem and therefore I had to fix it. And that becoming with that ego was the illusion again that I was alone, that maybe other people had drinking problems, but nobody had the problem to the extent that I did. And so I got a text message from my mom who knew that I was not feeling good, but she didn't know, and my family really didn't know the extent of my problems and how trapped I felt and how much despair I felt. And my mom sent me a text message and she said, "Matt, whatever you're going through, you don't have to do this alone." And when I heard that, it was such a simple message. It was so loving. What happened was, I think that was the moment that I surrendered. That was the moment for me where I just realized that, wow, I don't have to do this alone. I'm not the only one going through this. And that precipitated my decision to get help. And then from that point on, everything really has gotten so much easier in my life. I realized I wasn't alone. I realized that there's people that I can help who are going through something similar to me. So that's could have carried me on to this point now where I'm working as a peer advocate with people. But if you had told me 2 years ago that I would be doing something like this, I wouldn't have believed it. I thought I might have been dead. I'm not really sure. Recovery is going to be a process. It's going to come gradually. And people just need to know that when they come in and ask for help, that things are going to happen gradually, and no one's going to tell you you need to stop today, right now. Because I think sometimes in recovery, in the field of substance abuse, people think that it's an all or nothing kind of situation. And so I think that kind of thinking, that kind of black and white, all or nothing thinking, that is sort of what gets us into the situation in the first place. It's sort of, I think, what makes us feel trapped within ourselves and trapped into some sort of moralistically absolute situation. And so I think that people need to know that recovery is going to come gradually, and ideally, for most people, that's going to mean abstinence from use of any kind of substance, but it doesn't have to happen day one. It's got to be something that they work at and something that they feel they can be patient with, because being patient with yourself through the recovery process is absolutely critical. When I was battling alcoholism, I don't think that I could say I ever thought I'd feel empowered to beat it. And that was because always in my mind, I had imagined beating it alone. It never entered my mind that there were people who wanted to help me. And when I realized that there were people who wanted to help me, the sense of power that I got from connection through them channeled into myself, and it helped me make the steps I needed to take. The sadness they feel, the powerlessness that they feel, and even the uncertainty, not even being sure if their loved one has a problem, all of that is really normal. And just as I was someone who wasn't alone in my addiction, families are not alone in their love and in the pain that they feel for the people that they care about. Sometimes they're angry at them. They're often very worried, or they might even be disgusted. But I don't think people would be having those responses. They wouldn't be having those intense reactions to someone else's behavior unless they truly loved the person. So what I would tell them is, do whatever you can to encourage the person that you love to realize that they're not alone, and that you'll be there to help them any way that you can. You won't be able to solve their problem for them, but you'll be able to encourage them and let them know when they're ready that help is there. Because I really think family members should realize that people who need help, such as myself, people who needed help, they've got to be ready for it. They've got to want it. And What that looks like for an individual person, I can't say, but they'll know when they're there. And when they are, say something to the person you love. Hugh Doyle can offer people something that they might not have right now. And that's someone who will be with them at every step of the way through their journey of recovery. From the beginning, when you come in and you still might be using, you still might be drinking, until the point where you look back and you realize you've enjoyed an extended experience of abstinence. Hugh Doyle is an organization that can be those things for you. If you're watching this, if you're listening to this, and you think there's no hope for you or there's no hope for your loved ones, just take one step when you're ready and call Hugh Doyle.